Curtis Strange had made a promise to himself to one day win the U.S. Open in honor of his father, the father who had taught him the wonders of the game of golf, then died too young. He fulfilled that promise on Father's Day, 1988. The next year, he had others in mind, his wife Sarah and their children, Tommy and David, and Curtis did it again, won his second straight U.S. Open championship. And now, in 1990, he plays for himself to become only the second man in 95 years to win 3 in a row. This birdie on the 18th green on Friday kept him in the contest. And yesterday, this one on the treacherous 17th brought his goal within sight. Now, he could make out the shadowy form of Willie Anderson just ahead. Willie Anderson, the only man to win 3 in a row. A short time ago, Curtis teed off into whatever destiny awaits him in the final round. And off he went, continuing the strange quest, chasing the ghost of Willie Anderson down the fairways of Medinah.
Don't think that golf is just a game. It's something much more grand. Now we'll watch the best face up to the test in the championship of the land.
This game brings a lot of men fame, like we met. Francis scored an upset when he beat the 2 British elite. The U.S. Open, the show was a smash from the start. Bobby and a hard time. He won 4 in his time. The U.S. Open. The golf has been great and has left us impressed.
A Hagen!
A Hogan, they've all reached the crest. The course will be a stiff test. Nowhere could it be finer
Then here at Medinah,
the rough will be high as a kite, and the greens will be faster than light. Don't forget that the fairways are tight. It's golf's greatest show. The show is the splendid U.S. Open.
ABC Sports and the United States Golf Association welcome you to the playing of the National Championship of American Golf, the final round of the 1990 U.S. Open Golf Championship.
And now, we would like to present this unique, star-studded event in your home
or in your corporate tent.
The U.S. Open, the scene on your home TV screens will be played by some men undismayed, or by those who are caught in the throes. The U.S. Open, the putt could be hot and dramatically right,
Or tragic.
and sad like a fluffy top. It could be funny and bright. The chap who waved the towel and caused us all to howl. And now, as the golfers commence the 4th round, with the air sharp intent, we will say, without any pretense, it's golf's biggest show, the world of the splendid U.S. Open, the U.S. Open.
Yes, it's the final round of the Open Championship, and this is Medinah on a gorgeous summer afternoon with another great crowd gathered. The sun shines, the wind is up. That means that the final question on American Golf's annual examination paper will be a difficult one. 68 students of the game are taking the exam, and here are the current leaders. Billy Ray Brown and Mike Donald, of course, they haven't started yet. Neither have Tim Simpson, Larry Nelson, Jeff Sluman, or Mark Brooks. So many just behind them. All of these, except Fuzzy Zeller at the bottom at 5 under par. Strange and Norman, Faldo, Olazabal of Spain, Mike Reed, Steve Jones. Steve Jones 6 under on today's round. To the right of the screen, of course, the number of holes that they have played. Larry Mize and Chip Beck, Mike Hulbert, Scott Hoke, Scott Simpson there, Tom Seekman and Jack Nicklaus, 3 under par. Well, good afternoon. I'm Jim McKay reporting from Medinah. You know, they originally had planned to have the first U.S. Open 95 years ago in Newport, Rhode Island in September. But when they realized that the America's Cup yacht races were to be held in Newport that month, they moved it to October. 11 entrants showed up, 10 pros and an amateur. The crowd was small. The winner, a 21-year-old English import, Horace Rawlins, who took home a prize of $150, $50 gold medal, and custody of the cup for a year. His picture was on no cereal box. He didn't even have an agent. In fact, there were no agents, if you can imagine that. This year, there were more than 6,000 entrants, of which 156 teed off here on Thursday. The crowds have been enormous, 45,000 a day. And the winner, well, he'll win fame. Magazine covers, TV talk shows, all that, and fortune. A first prize of $220,000 and myriad endorsements. But more than that, he'll win glory. The glory of joining Horace Rawlins and Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, Byron Nelson, Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Lee Trevino, and all the rest as winners of the U.S. Open. Glory that'll last as long as this game of golf is played. Let's check in right now with our on-course commentators. First, Bob Rossberg, who'll be with the Curtis Strange pairing.
Thank you, Jim. I think Curtis and Mike Reed both got a real good break in that they were paired together for today's round. They played together yesterday, and they played very well. Both are serious, quiet golfers, and they get along great together. Now let's go to Ed Sneed.
Thanks, Bob. Today I'm going to start with Nick Faldo and Tom Seekman. I think the win today, for the first time this week, has brought 20 or 30 players in the field that have a chance to win the U.S. Open. I'm going to start with Nick, but I might move to Norman or Olafable or any player that gets hot on the golf course this afternoon. Now let's go to Judy Rankin.
I'll be on the golf course today with Mark Brooks and Larry Nelson. They're somewhat similar in the fact that they're quiet and reserved, but their experiences are vastly different. If Mark Brooks can hit the ball very close to the hole today like he did yesterday, he will be a factor. Larry Nelson has the great experience in major championships. He's won 3 of them. Watch him today. Let's go to Jerry Pate.
Thank you, Judy. I'm standing here on the putting green in front of Medinah Clubhouse with our leaders, Billy Ray Brown and Mike Donald. Mike Donald has led major championships, but never this far in the event. Billy Ray Brown, this is his first U.S. Open championship. Can these two players handle the pressure? Can they become the U.S. Open champion? We'll have to see. Now let's go back up to Jim McKay.
All right, Jerry, thank you very much. And here is Peter Allis, who will be with us for the first portion of this telecast. Peter, I cannot remember a U.S. Open where so many had such a good chance so late.
No, the permutations are endless too, Jim, really, aren't there? Some big names going out early, some 2 hours before the last pairing are going out. If they manage to post a good score, or if they get to the turn in 33, 34 strokes, that's going to put more pressure on those players coming up behind. It's a breezy day, as they were saying, out on the course. It's certainly no easier than it's been. It's at any time. A practice round was a blustery day. Will somebody post a score that no one will catch? Will we see a new champion? Will an unknown keep going and plodding away and become the champion? Or will we have one of those dreaded playoffs? Can you imagine about 14 ties? 18 holes tomorrow. It's a horrendous thought. Let's go out and see how they're doing.
Very good, Peter. All right, here we go with the final round. Curtis Strange on that quest. 5 under par on the second tee. This is the par 3, the first of 3 par 3s that go across Lake Kadijah.
Only just got over. Yeah. This is where Ballesteros started as one of the great players going out late, but he dropped 3 strokes in the first 3 holes. That seems to have blown his chances.
Jeff Sluman. Oh, beautiful.
Nothing to stop him keeping going. I mean, he hits the ball straight if he holds a few putts, but that, you can say that about 20 or 30 of them.
Nicklaus, second shot up ahead from the rough. Can a man 50 years old win the U.S. Open? He thinks so. Okay.
That got a nice bounce up on the front of the green, considering all the rain we had last evening.
Nicklaus safely on, and you can see that the wind is up. Now back to the first, and Tim Simpson at 6 under. His third shot, just a stroke behind.
It's very important for these later players, the last few groups, to get away to a good start. Of course, that's a simple thing to say. Everyone wants to get away to a good start, but you want to build your confidence. So from here, if he can just get down in 2, tuck a few pars away, and you see what he's left himself on the very opening hole.
Not the way to begin.
Well, it's all right if he holds the putt, Jim, but
Yes.
the ball runs into the hole at a nice speed, and you know, your nerves settle down and you feel good. It's when you get one of those putts or one a little bit nearer and you miss it on the first green that you have yet another inner battle to face.
Now, moving back towards the first tee, we'll find the second to last pairing. Mark Brooks
And
will
Larry
play first.
Nelson of Marietta, Georgia.
And with Larry Nelson, as you heard.
Mr. Brooks has the honor. Play away, please.
Mark Brooks, young Texan. Not a big man,
Good
5'7".
Good swing, this man, Jim. A nice address position, looks nice and easy and comfortable. Nice free sort of address and waggle of the club. Nothing wrong with that. Let me have pushed it a bit. He may be okay. No, it's perfect.
Oh, just fine. That white object you see is the 150-yard marker, so he'll have about 140 to the green. Larry Nelson, former winner of this championship, and always at his most dangerous in major championships.
Very unheralded player. When you think what has he won? 3 major championships? And,
yes, 2 PGAs and an Open.
And people tend to sort of dismiss those achievements as if, well, you know, he's not very exciting, but he could win today.
43 years old. Oops.
He needs to keep out of there, though.
Into the 4-inch rough. That's the deep stuff. Jeff Sluman now with that birdie attempt on the first to tie for the lead. You'll be hearing that a lot today.
That was either a misread or a misstrike or a bit of a...
Or U.S. Open.
Bit of a soft shoe shuffle there. That wasn't too good an opening stroke.
But he has his par. Out of the second, Curtis Strange just cleared the water on the par 3 hole.
The Ballesteros took 5 here, so dropped 2 strokes and then dropped another one at the third. Curtis needs to just trundle this up. Right. Nice and tidy to the hole side again, you see. Just a bit left to do, eh?
To be a problem. He's 2 strokes out of the lead. Now Nicklaus 4 strokes behind, but for a birdie at the 6th hole.
Jack needs to find that putting stroke that he had last week at the seniors, Mazda seniors. He'll frighten a few if he gets that going. It was a good putt though, wasn't it? It struck well, at good speed at the hole, just shaved it.
It wasn't tentative though, was it?
No, it's a beautiful stroke.
Playing in his 34th consecutive U.S. Open championship.
Some record.
Won it 4 times, second 4 times, top 10 18 times.
Amazing.
Now Curtis for the par at the second hole.
Yes, he doesn't want to be dropping any strokes early on. It's very easy to say, you know, you must get your 3s at the short hole, but they really are key holes. It's like taking, you know, you must really never take 6 on a par 5. That's a very sort of wounding score.
You could see the beads of perspiration already on Curtis. Hot day.
Curtis got off a little shakily. Really needs this badly.
Right, Bob.